Let's talk a little bit about enhancing the experiences. This is not a particular chapter in the Bernd Schmidt book, but this follows on Bernd Schmidt's ideas of the strategic experiential modules and combining them to make a better experience. I'm a big believer that in many cases, it's not that we need to completely change the experience, but rather we continually need to improve the experience, make it better than what it is right now. Some examples would be, for instance, a state or national park. How do we improve the experience at the state parks here in Nevada? The state parks survive mostly on attendance, and so how do you get more people to come to the park? Well, you enhance the experience for those who show up at the park. They then help you to market that park to other people. We did some work with the Mob Museum downtown after it first opened. They had a consultant come in and build the original experience at the Mob Museum. We came in behind that and attempted to look at each of the individual experiences, figure out perhaps a better way to tie them together, look at the experiences that were working and not working, and then do something about that. That's very much about what we're doing with in terms of our graduation project. It's not that the UNLV Lead Business School graduation is not a positive experience. The question is, how can we enhance it and improve it to make it a better experience and create the right sort of send-off for our graduating students? Remember, I talked about the NHRA, and with the NHRA, the issue was we're selling speed. How do you show speed on television? And as you recall, we did a lot of things to try to make that happen. We never really could find how to make that really work. But in all these cases, you need to start with the core experience. What is the core experience we're trying to produce? So let's go through some of the enhancements. The first is something called performance enhancements. This is making the event or making the experience better, perform better. That is the fulfillment of a claim, a promise, or a request, or the ability to accomplish or achieve that. Perhaps we want to make the performance more effective, or more efficient, or faster, or we want it to sound better, or taste better, or be more thrilling, or to make things be bigger than they ever were before and better. And so when we think about performance enhancement, whatever the experience is, we want to enhance the performance aspect of the experience. Second is the entertainment enhancement. That is improving the amusement or diversion or the attention factor of the particular experience. Something like caricatures, making it funnier, better sound, visuals, and lighting, more understandable, more suspenseful, more attention-getting, more fun, more enjoyable, more interactive, maybe scarier, thrilling, or more engaging. Think about the entertainment enhancement that the people at the hockey arena do for the Golden Knights hockey team. They make that a very entertaining venue and a very entertaining experience regardless of how the game is going. That's all about entertainment enhancement. How about the interactive enhancement? This has to do with the idea of flow. Do you get people to become part of the experience and get involved in the experience so that they get truly immersed? So how do we make the experience more immersive? What kinds of doings can we have? More hands-on, more mentally involving, and along with physically involving, more participation, more thinking, more problem solving, making the experience more interactive. Think about how we're going to do that with graduation. Educational enhancements. This, of course, is knowledge driven. So how do we make the experience more educational? Perhaps we provide background information, guest speakers, website links, videos, quizzes, did you know kinds of things, fun facts. Here's an example. How many points were scored against UNLV in one football game? I don't really know the answer to that, but I was at UNLV football game one night when the University of Houston scored 63 points against UNLV in the first half. Not a basketball game, but a football game. That is, the opposition scored 9 touchdowns against UNLV in the first half. That's kind of an educational tidbit of information. How do you increase the emotional enhancements, the warm fuzzies? Remember we talked about warm fuzzies before when we talked about the emotional aspect of things. How do we engage all the 5 senses? Of course, remember my stories. When you want to increase the emotional enhancement, always add puppies and kids, nostalgia music, maybe a sense of belonging or affiliation. That goes into the emotional enhancement. I always think that when you leave graduation, you should leave it with a warm, fuzzy sense. That is, you should have been emotionally tied to the graduation experience. It should be emotional. It should bring a tear to people's eyes, but it should also bring a sense of joy and accomplishment. It should be somehow emotional. If graduation is not emotional, then we didn't do our job. The physical stimulation enhancement. Okay, well, how do we physically stimulate people? All right. In some cases, it's it's like, for instance, when you go to a concert and you can actually feel the music. So the physical stimulation includes, remember, if you've ever watched or participated in an extreme sport, things that go faster, take you higher, become more extreme, create the illusion of danger, or bring a tear to your eye, are all physical stimulation enhancements. Other kinds of enhancements that we ought to at least be familiar with are social enhancements, making the experience more socially oriented. How do we make graduation even more socially oriented? Opportunities to socialize and be seen with others, photo galleries, social media postings, etc. A lot of students go to graduation and they want their parents to meet some of the faculty members who helped teach them or torment them or whatever else it was during their years at UNLV. There's an affiliation enhancement. That is, I am part of this experience. Graduation is an affiliation enhancement activity. It should make you closer to the university at the end of the day. Other kinds of enhancements might be specific to a particular type of experience. That is, customizing an experience on those particular attributes. So let's always be thinking enhancements. It's all about continuous improvement. Every time we put the experience on, it should be better than the last time.